Welcome to Foodie, the perfect web app for food lovers. Foodie is a web app where you can find and share recipes with friends and family in group chats or individually. In this app, you can sign up for a personalized account, choose recipes that you like or think others in your group may like, and share them in a chat within the app itself. User research was done effectively during the discover and define phase of the project. Initially, two personas of the project were chosen and defined and analyzed. These were the family chef and the cook abroad. They were asked to take the journey of signing up, picking a recipe, and sharing the recipe. From this, a user journey map was created for two different apps. The major pain points for Pepper was having too much relevant information on each recipe card. For Yumily, the major pain point was that the recipe would redirect users to external websites with the recipes on them. Both these apps had no way for the user to share or message within the app itself, and instead prompts the user to either copy the link or share on external apps. Thus, it was concluded that a digital ecosystem with in-app messaging between users on different devices would be ideal for both of the users. The takeaways from heuristic analysis and user research were a need for consistent icons and buttons, the ability to skip, sign up, and trial the app, and giving the users the ability to message and share recipes within a single app. The ideation process was crucial for the development of Foodie. This is my storyboard for Foodie. It goes through the steps that are needed for the user to sign up, find a recipe, then share it with the group. Then shows the social interaction using a digital ecosystem of another user using their own device. The other users in the group uses their own device to open the chat, then look at the recipe by clicking on the shared link in the group chat. In the ideation process, a mashup was done between cooking and social sports. Social sports was chosen as it is widely different to cooking and has a strong social aspect to it, a competitive and commoditary aspect. Using mashup, I had come up with 4 possible interesting ideas. I called these cooking contest, snapshot of cheers, collective search, and mouthwatering progress. I chose the latter two to add to my app. First, I added the voting feature where everyone would be able to vote on their favorite recipes as a group. In chats, I added the ability to create polls in which users could vote on whether they would like the shared recipe. Within the app, you would be able to live stream your cooking to friends and family and tune in to watch other streams. Then I went on to develop the task flows for the Foodie web app. These 3 steps of the journey will later be tested with users at every iteration of the Foodie prototype. The low fidelity prototype. I created a hand-drawn prototype of Foodie first. I had drawn out several sketches of the home page and the recipe pages and kept parts of all of them that I wanted in the prototype and combined them to make a final drawn prototype. Finally, I went on to quickly prototype it on Figma before printing it and using it as a more clear version to paper test with possible users. This was done to properly test the prototype ideas that I had. The prototype followed the ideation phases, storyboard, and allowed me to swap pages when the correct buttons were pressed. This prototype allowed me to see exactly what users would do with the current wireframe. The low fidelity prototype was tested as a paper prototype on 3 different users. All 3 were uni students. The testing was analyzed, the think aloud method, and by asking questions after each step of the journey. While all 3 of the users completed the sign up easily, one commented on not being able to jump back in the sign up, even though visibility of system status was used to show how far in the sign up they were. User control and freedom was not used. Thus, the user was not able to move back or around different sections of the sign up process. In the sharing of the recipe section, one user had to be shown where the share button was for sharing within the app. They had thought the share button would share out of app. Consistency and standards was not properly used here, as the word share and the icon used was understood to mean external sharing. There were 2 major changes that were implemented. The first one was on the sign up screen. I prototyped the navigation within the step indicators, so users will be able to navigate back and forth instead of relying solely on the next and back buttons. Secondly, I changed the icon wording so of the share button to more intuitively suggest that the recipe would be shared in-app. My second prototype was a medium fidelity prototype implementing changes mentioned along with micro interactions such as the loading screen. For this prototype, the desktop version was also prototyped, but kept simple, perfectly fitted tablet as well. Colors were added along with images so the user can see what is interactive and push the users through the app the way it was intended to be used. 2 new users were chosen, a recent graduate and a student. Both users successfully selected recipes and shared them, but only one user successfully got through the sign-up process. One user had pressed the skip and trial option on the start page and got to the home page, but was unable to move back to the start page and thus unable to sign up. There was no error prevention methods used for this case, and there was a lack of user control and freedom. Recognition and rather than recall was not followed, as the user mentioned they would like to jump back to a certain stage of sign up. Even though it was prototype now, there was no indication that there was a way to do so. To solve the problem of user control and freedom, a back button is added to the home page to take the users back to the start screen. To add error prevention, there is a pop-up implemented to confirm that the user actually wants to trial the app and skip the entire sign-up process. Adding titles to stepped indicators allow the user to recognize that these are clickable to jump back to sections of the sign-up rather than recall. The things mentioned previously was added to make the high-fidelity prototype. All recipes on the homepage was added and images were filled to make the app look cohesive and complete. This one was tested with a husband and wife in their 30s. All users successfully completed the given instructions, even commenting, "I wouldn't change anything." The prototype did not need any major changes for the main use case. For the final iteration, what was left to do was add the ideas I originally came up with during mashup and see if there were any issues with the interactions in untested areas. The final design. This is my final prototype of Foodie. Through ideation, testing, and iteration, I have come up with this design. I have micro interactions like the loading screen where the donut spins around to show system status, pop-ups to choose which chats to send to, and much, much more. This is the final version of my desktop web application. The desktop version was designed to be minimal so that it can also be the version that would run on tablets along with the desktop. All the interactions were programmed in, especially ones that were necessary to the functionality of the app, including ideas that were created in the mashup. Things like loading animation was created to transition the user from sign up to the home page. Autofill for parts where the users would put in their data was also animated. Thank you.